course Forex. So this is it's going to be the chapter 1. We're going to start from understanding what is Forex, and we're going to go through everything, right? So the first, okay, what is Forex? Okay, so very important to understand what is Forex before you can start trading Forex. So basically Forex is simply um, the market that give you access to different investment on the global market. So basically we have think of currencies such as you can have the euro dollars, right? When you talk about the euro, the currency of Europe, and then you talk about the dollar, the currency of the USA. So there is many transactions happening in euro and transaction happening in dollars. So just to talk about it, so on the Forex market, it's this market where we have access, where we can just place our investment based on which currency is gaining value or losing value, right? So we learn this through different information that we can get. So the more information we can get on the currency, the more we have an opportunity to win or lose on the currency. Okay, so basically we have an exchange rate for each currency. What is it, an exchange rate? An exchange rate is just the price of two currencies. So what does it mean? It means if you find $1, for example, you have $1, and then you want to see how much is $1 going to be in Japan. For example, the Japanese yen. An example can be $1 is worth 100 yen. Okay, so so now to exchange that, it means you're exchanging $1 for 100 yen. So this will help you. So in the Forex market, what we do now is that we're going to take that currency and exchange it into a different currency in one button. By pressing one button, we are actually exchanging that currency to another currency. Okay, so the foreign exchange market, which is usually called Forex or FX, this is the largest financial market in the world. So it's the largest financial market in the world. We basically every day there is about 3 to 5 trillion US dollars being exchanged. So when we look at it, at the moment we are playing around 7 trillion US dollars every single day. So the largest stock market in the world is the New York Stock Exchange, where we have many stocks being exchanged. Okay, so when you hear about stock exchange, you understand we're talking about the market where we can have Forex. So Forex is more foreign exchange, it's more of currencies, and then you have stocks, that you can have stocks for companies, and then you have a different type of market. All right, so how do we trade the market? We trade the market by having access to a platform where we can trade the market. This is when you always see different charts. You always see people showing you charts such as this. For example, here I have a trade where I am trading, I am basically trading gold. So this is gold that I have bought, this is my target, and then yeah, so this is how you trade. All right, so this is an example of an open trade on gold. Let's see. Okay, so this is just an example of the market. So next will be we've seen what is Forex. What is Forex? I mean, okay, let's go to the next. Okay, so what is traded in Forex? Obviously, simple answer: we are trading money. So there is no actual product that is being traded. It's money, one currency versus another currency. Okay, so we are buying a currency and selling a currency. So when you buy one currency, so we trade them in currency pair. So when you buy one currency, it means you're selling the other one. Okay, at what price? At the exchange price uh, at the moment when you're trading. So these are the major currencies we have. For example, the Canadian dollars, the USD, and that. So if you're basically working, for example, with USD CHF, if you're trading USD CHF, it means you are buying the USD for the CHF, or you are selling the USD for the CHF. Depend on what you would do with your analysis. So these are currency, how they are labeled. They are labeled as USD, Euro, Japanese yen. This is a British pound. The pound is called GDP. This is a Swiss franc, which is the CHF, and yeah. So these are examples here. You have the Australian, which is called AUD. Okay, so if you're trading the AUD USD, we call it the Australian dollar versus the USD. Okay, but this is the Australian dollar, or they also call it as a nickname Aussie. The NZD USD, the NZD I mean is the New Zealand dollar, which is called the Kiwi, and then you have the USD, which is called the BAC, and this is the US States dollars. Okay, so these are the way we call them. So these NZ will tell for the country name and then the currency name. Okay. Right. So when we're looking at the chart, we have to look at the chart here. We will see we have different currencies here that we trade. You have the US CAD, which is the US dollar, Canadian dollar. You have the British pound and the US dollar. So basically, if we have to take a currency, so each currency has a price. So at this price, it means $1 will give me 1.3775 of the Canadian dollar. All right, so that's what it means. Okay. So buying and selling currencies. What is buying and selling currencies? So we basically, when we press the button, let's say for example, the euro dollar is Euro USD, and the British pound, the GBP JPY. This is the British pound and the Japanese yen. So if I analyze the market, we see which currency. So basically, these two currencies are fighting against each other. So if I see one currency is going to gain value, I'm going to buy it. If I see one is going to lose value, I'm going to sell it. For example, here I have a chart here, the Japanese yen and this. So basically, if I'm looking at seeing that the Japanese yen is going to gain value, I'm going to buy. Or if I see it's going to lose value, I'm going to sell. It will depend as well on the knowledge and the strategy that we're going to have, which we're going to talk about in the next chapters. Okay, so we have, in terms of currencies, you have major currencies and you have cross currencies and you have exotic currencies. So the major currencies will be for the major countries such as you have Euro USD, USD JPY, GBP, USD, USD CHF, and USD CAD. So these are major currencies. Okay, and then you will have some minor currencies or currency cross, which will be things like Euro CHF, Euro GBP, and that. And then you have the yen crosses are all the currencies with the Japanese yen. So this is very important because in a case where there's something happening in Japan, all these currencies will be affected by that. Okay, and then the pound crosses are any currency with the pound. Okay, all right. So the exotic currencies, right? Those are currencies from countries that are still emerging or developing, such as the you have, for example, the South African, South Arabia, United States, and Saudi Arabia. So mostly these currencies, you know, the South African rand, these currencies are really, really choppy, and it's very difficult to really make money from these currencies. Okay. All right, so these are currencies, and remember, when we're trading, it means we're exchanging one currency for another one. So, and then we will now need to have a size for what we're trading. So basically, let me say, for example, here I'm looking at this. Let me just let me give you an example here. So I am looking at USD CAD, so the United States dollar versus the Canadian dollar. Let's say I'm analyzing based on what we're going to study in the next chapters to see how you analyze the market. So if I see an opportunity to sell the market, for example, I just have to do it in a button. So I am going to sell this market. So if I sell this market here, it means by selling here, the more the market goes into my direction, it's going down, it means I'm going to make profit. And the more it goes against me, I'm going to make a loss. All right, so the trick is to find where are the best levels, the best price where you can buy or sell. So here what I'm doing is I am selling. By selling USD CAD, it means I am selling the dollar versus the CAD, which is the Canadian dollar. So by selling the dollar, it means I am buying the Canadian dollar. Right. So the currencies, the way the currencies are distributed, you need to understand the US dollar is the king. So the US dollar is moving at the market because it's the most traded currency. So when people are trading currency pairs, they usually trade currencies with the US dollar. And this is related to the largest economy because the United States is the largest economy. You have the dollar is the reserve currency of the world. So this is why this happened. Okay. So you need to understand different economic news, different events happening in the USA will affect the market. So it's very important for you to really know what's happening in the USA because that will affect the market. Okay, so how to trade Forex? Okay, Forex is a very good market. So how do you trade Forex? We need to first understand what we want to trade. If you want to trade currencies, you must know how a currency is behaving. If you want to trade futures, you must know everything. So you have many ways of trading Forex, but that will depend on the opportunities. And many of us traders, we are called the retail Forex traders because we trade on a very small scale. We trade through a company called a broker, which we're going to talk about. And below this video, you're going to have a link that help you register with the best broker, right? That will give you access to the Forex market. All right.